Good. Yeah.
Tell him to go to dog stuff.
Go to dog stuff.
All right, what are we doing? Flatward compass?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Ooh. Cool. Yeah, good boy.
All right, now it's at 2 o'clock there. That's great, John. Out, yes, block. Good. Good.
Yeah, deep.
Nice, John. Yep, that's great.
A little bit off on the angle.
You ready, Cupcake? Let's do it. Ooh, are you going to be sponsored by ProPlan? Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, get out. Yep. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Catch. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Catch. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Ouse. Yes. Oh shit, my bad, sweetheart. I did get the shot though. He's watching, I was framing that for the shot, looking at the logo. All right, what do we got? What you doing, Epi? What you doing, Coop Cake? A little Coop Cake. Whoa, do you know what's happening, Epi? Do you? Sure. With the cupcake. Ready, Cup? Here we go. We're gonna do fly to flow form number 2, the hard one. These are front crosses. So I'll make a throw, Makai, catch, She'll probably be on clock. Ouse. So I'll front cross her to counter to make the throw. Now she's on clock, I'm gonna switch, and then, yes, put her on. Oh, good girl, yeah. Ouse.
Hey, hey, Sage Paw. What's going on?
Well, out here, oh, you can see she's leaving early. She knows
Freezing here, it's snowing.
Ouse.
Friggin' snowing.
I'm gonna fake her out this time. Catch. Oh,
You can't
got
fake out
it,
the
didn't
cupcake. You can't fake her out.
All right, and then I'll front cross, out, to counter. Yes, she's on clock. I'll switch, and I'll front cross to clock. Awesome. Whoa. Out. I'll block, and I'll pass clockwise. Good girl. You can face her if I want. Out. I'll block. I'm already set for my counter pass, so I'll switch, and now I'll go counter pass. Oh, better hustle. Oh, she got burned, cupcake. She got burned. Awesome. Right seat throw. Number 3. Go, go, go.
Turn flip.
Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up, up, up. Ouse. Yes. Good. Ouse. Through. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Badass. Go, go, go.
Turn flip.
Good.
Sorry, I
Ouse.
missed my timer by 30 seconds.
Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up, up, up. Ouse. Good. Right there. Yes, good. 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 Ouse. Through. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass.
Oh yeah. What's up, everybody? Coming at you from the frozen tundra of Union, Missouri. Holy cow. Why? Well, it would help if my lights were pointed at me, wouldn't it? Maybe? That's a little better. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Cupcake. 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 Oh, get up here. Cupcake. Oh, that was weak. Ep, that'll do. Go do dog stuff. Ep. Come on. I'm gonna have a problem here. Let's go, go, go. All right, come on, Epi. Up, up. Yes, chill. You guys all chill. Whew. That was a little scary. Epi was gonna get angry. Epi was fixing to get angry. Ah, brr. So what's going on? Mechanics Monday. Here we are. I don't know. Did any of you guys read the book I'm writing? Any of you patrons read that book? Get that? It was 50 pages of PDF or 120 pages of EPUB file. So I'm writing a book out of that DiscDog IQ stuff. I'm all the way through the dog flight IQ. I'll go ahead and show you some of it. Hang on. Let's see, books. So let me screen share. Books. So hang on, I want to share. Is it showing my whole? Oh, I guess it is going to show the background here. I probably don't want to do that. Bet it looks cool though. Maybe. Probably looks cooler. So yeah. Let's see here. Man, everything goes so slow when I turn this on. It's so frustrating. But yep, flight IQ for the dog. 92 pages so far. And I'm pretty stoked. It's here, we'll go to the forward. What every dog handler and team need to know about the game. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is. Herein lies many points of interest and all the make or break points in the game. If you want to know what you're doing out there, this is your jam. If you want to fix something in your game, the elements, skills, and attributes of DiscDog IQ are vital waypoints on your journey to a solution. Dude, go. Are you kidding? Get up there. It's not okay. It's not okay. Peace and happy jamming. So, dude, go. That's bad, Epi. But yeah, so I'm all the way through the dog. So here, can I do this? So the flight IQ dog, all the way down here to the release, all done. All done. Go there and then go a little further. Tracking of the disc, collecting for the target. Hey. Oh, I don't have the latest version in my book. But anyway, pretty cool, man. I'm pretty excited about it. Got that cool little placekeeper image of Kiva. Yep. And then, so this will be essentially the reference manual or the reference text, and then like the user's manual will be the forms tailored to developing the IQ in each of these ideas. So flight IQ, there are 12 ideas or 12 elements in each of these kind of IQ. I have flight IQ, flow IQ, team IQ, safety IQ, jamming IQ. And there are going to be 12 elements in each. And they're like important ideas, critical ideas. All of the hit points or the flex points or the important details of that element of the game. And then this book will be essentially all the things you need to know. And then I want to attach, oh gosh, so I'll just show you. So there's this, so my crazy ass mind map, I'm gonna pull up, and it's the mind map of the, you know what, I think I can quit Safari, can't I? Yeah, that's probably most of my problem, actually. So we have this here. Haha. Go. And it's fast. Yes. So this is the dog flight IQ. And here, I'll show you something really cool. All right, so this here I don't know why that's ES, it should be dog. I wonder what happened here. Make this a little bit bigger. So this is dog. Flight IQ, okay? So the trigger, the dog needs to know there's a trigger, want to make the trigger happen, honor the trigger. The dog needs to know about disc principles, the principles of hyzer and anhyzer, how the disc behaves, fade and turnover, clock and counter, run over, etc. You got wind, position, reading the handler, all of this is what's written out in the book. And this is like the IQ stuff that the dog needs to know. Here's the handler, right? And so the handler has a similar set of things that they need to know, right? Gosh darn it. You guys getting seasick yet? Almost, there we go. So the trigger, the handler needs to know there's a trigger, telegraph the trigger, predict the trigger, present the trigger, and withhold the trigger, right? When it comes to wind, the handler needs to know spin, 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 the principles of the knife and sail. Placement, the principles of placement, and how wind affects placement. Needs to understand the headwind and tailwind. The handler needs to know about disc principles. Right? This flight IQ is from the moment the disc is released until it's caught. It's the whole sequence of events. Handler needs to understand and know about position, timing, placement, wind orientation, lines, arcs, and shapes, interception versus chase. Right? The reading of the dog, the targeting of the disc, the reading of the line, disc placement, time, release, load, declare, prepare, right? Get your disc loaded, be ready for the next one, right? All of that stuff is happening when we're playing. And most of the time we don't know about it. We don't pay attention to it. We don't think about it. It isn't until we have to solve a problem or we're looking to improve something that these kinds of ideas and what we actually know about what's happening out there is important. So breaking these things down allow us to jump in and figure out where we're at and what's going on, right? And then it's attached to these, the forms, right? So let's say my dog takes off, right? Kind of watches, but takes off, right? Like on the flank, I get ready to throw and the dog takes off, right? So within the flight IQ, where are things going wrong? Where is the dog lacking understanding or experience? Or where is the dog not performing appropriately with that experience and understanding? And we could identify the trigger, like the moment the disc goes horizontal. Is that happening? No? Well, maybe that should happen. And if you want that to happen, you can work the flat work compass, the yellow belt form flat work compass. You can work the green stance shifting form. You can work the solo stance shift. And you need to work the four hands form. And you want to work those things with the trigger involved, right? And so the second book, the user's manual, or I don't know what it is, the handler's manual or a handling manual or something, we'll go into how to use the flat work compass to establish a trigger. How we work on establishing a trigger in general. How the green stance shift is used and formulated in order to tackle the trigger problem, right? So we could work the trigger for that dog's issue. Let's see, wind, not a concern with the dog taken off. Position. Okay, so does the dog know the working flank, right? Is the dog taking off from the flank, right? Does the dog catch from front position? Does the dog catch from heel position? Those things can fill in the gaps and help the dog understand that you got to watch what's fucking happening here, brother. You know what I mean? And all of that reinforces the trigger, and it solves your problem as to the dog taking off. Reading the handler. You know, does the dog read the handler's direction? Does the dog read the pose? Does the dog read the throw that's coming? Work on those things. Now the dog is looking at you at the time of throw. Guess what they're not doing? They're not taking off, right? And instead of wasting all your time or putting all your effort into stopping the dog from running off, now you have improved your trigger markedly, right? You have explored and reinforced and experienced position with regard to the dog watching you and the trigger. You have explored reading the handler and set up a situation where the dog watches and reads the handler for information, right? So not only do you solve your problem, but you get like good shit on top of it. What happens most of the time is you try and get the dog not to do that thing. Or you hyper-focus on one aspect in order to stop it from happening. And then you're playing whack-a-mole with unintended consequences of changing the pattern too much. Does that make sense? That totally makes sense, right? Not fucking crazy, am I? Well, I mean, that's beside the point, but I hope I'm making sense. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Like, it's pretty neat. Just having these points to fall back on, really interesting. And then to have it for dog handler and team. So there's a flight IQ from the throw, from the release, from the trigger, the release, to the catch is flight IQ. And there's a flight IQ for the dog, for the handler, right? And for the team. Right? So for the team, the team flight IQ, trigger, wind, position and possibilities, right? Position and team movement, essentially. Cueing, dialogue, right? Does the team talk to one another? Does the team communicate? Is it a two-way street? That's a really important piece. Like, we're not just making the dog do shit here. Like, you have to do it with me. You and me together. Let's go. Right now. This moment. Right? It's a cooperative effort. That dialogue's super important. The team, and that's in the throw. The dog gives eye contact, makes the throw happen. The eye contact watches the trigger. That whole interaction is a dialogue. The team flight IQ, we need to know about lines and arcs. Pressure and how pressure and placement affects the way that the dog moves, the way that the team moves. We have to have a flight IQ on distance as a team. We have to have short, medium, long distances. of various releases in our like experience or in our history, right? We have to have experience on that. It's not enough to find out the 2 cool throws we can do and then do those and never do anything else. You're going to get your ass handed to you when you try and do something cool later. If you take some time and explore these things and play around like with some purpose of trying to figure out, try to throw a variety of throws at particular distances, the dog will get really smart about making catches. Right? You won't be avoiding your problem, you'll be improving a weakness. You'll be exploring experiences, not avoiding problems. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it's really important. The team flight IQ, interception, and chase. A knowledge of that dog handler team. Super important. And all of that can be attained by working the forms with the balanced position form, with the working flank in mind. Those of you guys who are doing the balanced position form. If you think about drop, yes, boom, pull cleanly, stop the dog in a working flank, and go the other way, that form is really nice for exploring the flank. You'll realize that this balanced position form is just a super fast working flank. And your dog will recognize that too, right? So the application of the forms towards these IQ elements, I think is fucking awesome, man. Like, I think it's really cool because I've been pushing this idea of like purpose in your play, right? Making your play, doing it for a particular reason. And that might as well be asking you the secret of life, you know? What purpose? Well, here you go, right? Here you go. There's your purpose. What purpose do you want? What purpose do you need? Do you even know what purposes are available? Have you even thought about what purpose you and your dog might want to explore, right? And it's one thing for me to, you know, talk about playing with purpose and, you know, just do that. But do what? Well, now we have something here that we can do, right? And so that second book is going to be the practical application and the adjustment of the forms towards this stuff. And that's that. That's my project. It's going to be huge, man. I think I'm going to do it in booklets. I think I'm going to do a flight IQ like book with dog handler team, and then I'll do flow IQ book, dog handler team. Right? I think I'm going to wind up doing it like that. It'll be too big otherwise. It'll be super intimidating. Why is it always so hard, Ron? Why are you so crazy with that stuff? And it is a huge project, like it is, and it's ridiculously detailed. But that's the point, is to present the pieces of the puzzle, or important pieces of the puzzle, in detail, in context, and then give you a conceptual framework that you can apply towards that to fix it, that relies on context to communicate these concepts. Woohoo! How's that for some fucking techno babble? I think that's exactly what it is, though. Anyway, blah, 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 super cool. Flat work, cupcake. What's up? Nice ears. Nice ears. See you. Can I have it? Thank you. Yes, you're very nice, Dojo Dog stuff. All right, so what's going on out there? Kim, good to see you. Good to see you. Those of you guys who are patrons, you can download the dog portion of the flight IQ. if you would like. It looks really cool. This is a nice version of it, right? You could download the book version of this. Ooh, that's the whole thing. Where's the IQ slipping? All right. Enough navel gazing. Back to the show. All right. So, mechanics. I'll do a couple of cookie things with Cupcake real quick. It's freezing out here. I don't know how long I'm going to be out here, especially if we don't have a bunch of action. Hi, Epi. Hi. But I'm gonna work attention during the stand behavior, and I'm gonna kind of talk about and demonstrate the removal of the cookie, right? The removal of the cookie as the elicitation of the behavior. So I'll present the cookie, she'll come up, I'll remove it, she'll give eye contact. And then I'm going to also do some scoot work and try and use that removal mechanic to get her to back up a little bit too. Well, I'll show it to you. So hang on. You should become a patron, and you could have the book and the images. They're on the Patreon site. So so we have the dog, right? We have the trigger, right? And then we have disc principles. Oh, by the way, each of these is scored 0 to 10. Epi, on the trigger, he's a 7. Disc principles, he's a 7. Wind, headwind, tailwind, he's a 6, maybe a 5. Position, heel, side, flank, front, yeah, he's probably a 7 or an 8. Like as far as what he knows and how he can exploit those behaviors, how I can exploit those behaviors, how flexible, how generalizable are these behaviors and these concepts. That's kind of what we're going for here. I'm using these discrete ideas, but it isn't just these discrete ideas, right? Hopefully that makes sense. You could break these into a bunch of different concepts of general position, right? The dog needs to read the handler, right? The dog needs to look at the handler, right? And to know what looking at the handler makes the pose happen. Looking at the handler makes the throw happen. Looking at the handler is required for me to see the trigger. Looking at the handler is what I do when nothing is happening. Those are things your dog should know. If your dog doesn't know those things, well, the IQ isn't where it could be, right? Your dog's IQ, as far as being able to use that knowledge, is not as high as it should be. We can improve that. You do these forms, right, for the purpose of reading the handler, and I'll show you how to do that within the thing. The dog needs to read the throwing direction, right? The handler presents. I present here. Right? Boom, you know we're going over there. I present here, you know we're coming this way. Right? I present this, and you know it's a sidearm going that way. Right? I present here and I block and I'm holding a sidearm, you're probably thinking, what the fuck? If I were standing here, you'd be thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna do that pass, right? And so the anticipatory knowledge of the dog is something that we're talking about relying on, right? The dog needs to read the throwing spin, right? Needs to know that this disc is going to be spinning this way. This disc will be spinning that way. That's for the catch, that's for wind purposes, that's for perhaps collection purposes. Knowing that would change how the disc is going to fly in this situation, right? Those are all important things to know. Read the throwing release, actually knowing what throw is coming. What a huge benefit, right? Engaging the target, targeting the disc as a discrete entity, 1 to 10. Epi's a 7, probably. He's very good at engaging the target. He's pretty good at watching the release. He's very good at watching the handler. He's got a few places where he gets out of control and doesn't watch the release. That would be something I'd want to work on, right? Create the line, right? Epi is pretty fucking good at creating the line. 9 maybe, 8.5, 9, like way up there. He's quite good, and maybe that's too high, but I'm kind of calling him a badass. Exercising the skills, I'll probably reevaluate and drop the score down. His knowledge of direction, how we're moving together, where the disc is going, how he, I, and the disc interact. He's very good at that. Dogs that only chase are not very good at that. They don't create lines. They don't create lines well, because they're always chasing. They're always already on the line. When we start to throw interceptions and stuff like that, all of a sudden, the dog has to create a line and make a plan, and then collection becomes important, and all of this stuff falls out of that. And so direction, one of those things. The dog needs to regulate speed, right? Speed regulation is huge. This is covered pretty deeply in the book. This is pretty good stuff from the reading the handler. Did I shrink it too much? Maybe I can. From the reading of the handler. Yeah, from the reading of the handler to the catch is like read, plan, do for the dog. The dog is figuring out what's going to happen, making a plan, and doing the thing. Right? If we whip it out there and they take off running after it, that shit's done. Right? If we set up situations where they have to plan, where they have to intercept things, where they have to move with us, now all of a sudden they have to make a plan, they have to do things that require some kind of IQ, some kind of knowledge of what we're doing. Hopefully that makes sense. So tracking of the disc, again, from 1 to 10. Epi's probably a 6.5, maybe 7 on this. Does the dog know and understand the principles of the disc? Hyzer, anhyzer, float, hover, running, headwind, or mung, right? I don't know. Skip and roll, maybe. Wind principles. Does the dog know how to handle a headwind, a tailwind, know how the disc interacts in those wind conditions? But the tracking of the disc is reading the disc, continuing or altering the line. Read the disc, continue or alter the line. Read the disc, continue or alter the line. This is where it's at. That's where tracking the disc is. And so there are things that we can do to work that. After tracking the disc, we have collection, right? It is collection for a target. For a target. The knowledge of leaping for the target as the object of collection or as the object of chasing the disc. Huge difference than chasing that shit down and going in and getting it. And some dogs do it so naturally, it's unbelievable, right? So most dogs don't, right? Your first DiscDog does that. The rest of them don't. You got to figure out how to make that happen, right? Epi's a 6.5, 7 collection probably. He's probably higher than, he's probably an 8 because he knows a shit ton about it. So the leap, knowledge of the leap, again, knowledge, experience, and appropriate application would be the whole kind of rigmarole of the leap. It's knowledge of the leap, experience of leaping, and appropriately applied leaping skills and attributes, right? I don't know, maybe a 7 out of Epi, right? The dog should know that leaping is a habitual performance. That's just what happens, right? That's a really powerful thing for the dog to know. The dog should know that leaping is calculated, right? I have to think about where I'm going. I look before I leap, right? That's kind of important. And that leaping is for the target, right? When those things are known, the dog knows a lot about leaping, will hopefully demonstrate that knowledge with good, safe, quality leaping. The catch, ooh, that's not done right. The bite criteria, right? Removal from the hand, it's removal from the air. When the dog removes it from the air, that's what we're looking for as a catch. Marking, mark that, better never than late, right? Get that moment, the dog's gonna spit it out right away. Deal with it. Reinforce it until the dog is tearing it out of the air. Once the dog is tearing it out of the air, let him tear it out of the air. Wait for them to pick it up, cue the drop, right? That back chain for the catch is really powerful. It's talked about in the book, not here. Dog should experience both spins, should know and understand both spins, a variety of releases. The dog should know and experience both flanks, should be able to catch when he's running this way, should be able to catch when he's running that way, right? Whoa, we're back. Holy cow, we're back. I think. Anybody still here? We here? Are we cool? Maybe? I don't know. Hopefully we are. All right, so I don't know how much we missed. I was talking about the drop being able to reinforce and be used as a back chain is featured pretty heavily in the book. So the dog catches both spins, both flanks. It's a different experience on either flank. The dog has a right-footed lead, a right foot lead when they're running clock, a left foot lead when they're running counter. And that matters. That changes the knowledge, experience, and understanding of the leaping behavior, of the collection of the whole thing. And so having experience and knowledge catching on both flanks, really important for the dog. My dog C, when she would run clockwise, would leap like a horse, right? She's a huge dog, huge dog. She'd leap, she'd catch it 7 feet in the air, and her rear feet would be 3 feet off the ground, right? And she'd leap like this. And then on the counter clock, this is when I discovered flat work in 2007, started working on the skill. In like 2008, 2009, I started throwing her counter clock on purpose, and she'd leap like a cat. She'd leap up all fours, right? Leap up, look in, reach out, and snatch the disc like a hyper agile little border collie, not some big sight hound horse thing, like she was on clock. And so catching on both flanks is knowledge and understanding of catching on both flanks is extremely important for the dog. Even if one of them is terrible, you want to know, experience, and exercise it so that when it does happen, or if it needs to happen, you will be likely to catch it, or at least not miss it so terribly, right? This IQ stuff is about getting at the problem and improving the weakness, not answering the problem and making the weakness go away. It's not that. The dog needs to know how to catch on the pass as well. Long, medium, short passes. On the right side of my body going clock. On the left side of my body going counter. The dog needs to know from trigger to catch what that whole pass thing is about. That knowledge, super helpful. And the finish of the catch is the landing, right? The dog needs to know how to land and be thoughtful of landing. The release happens after the catch. It's kind of out of place in flight IQ, but it is also pretty important because it so sets the stage for the next piece, right? It's really important for the handler to be very attentive, and it's important for the dog to be reliable and or thoughtful and or biddable at that time of release. So we have the handler location the dog should release and should know and understand how the handler location and movement would affect that release. The dog should know and understand, experience, make appropriate applied decisions and applications of pressure, right? Should back off of pressure, should not run into the fucking wall, right? Should move sensibly into the corner of the field and make a nice, easy catch rather than bum rush the corner, things like that. The release, the dog knowing that the release is going to lead to connection and the next line, I think is important. I make the catch, I land, I turn, and I connect. Right? That understanding and experience, I think, is super important. It's talked about in the book and will be well illustrated within the practical manual forms. All right, and then you have the cued response, right? And cued response would be squib or here, front cross, rear cross, do something there. And there you have it. So there you go, Judith. You got to see it. I'm going to get off that now. I did lay it out pretty clearly. Maybe there's some stuff to grab there. But that's coming, and that's kind of how I'm going to start trying to address these things, right? Pretty freaking excited about it. Judith, if you want the book, become a patron, man. Become a patron. Become a patron. Go to the site. You'll get the book. You get all the updates on the book. All right. So, whoa. What are you doing, Cupcake? Ooh, I was going to do the cupcake stuff. How these store-bought cigarettes are like completely ridiculous. Epi, up, chill. So with Cupcake here, I am going to remove the cookie. Whoa, chill. I see you. I do. I see you. I'm going to remove the cookie to elicit eye contact. And I'm trying to get eye contact here so that, is that going to go in real time? If that's going to be all shitty, I will just get rid of it. I'll just get rid of it. So, cupcake, yes. So I'll take this dude, go. Cupcake, not you, I know, yes. So I'll take eye contact here, yes, and I'll pay up here and then I'll remove, yes, and she'll give eye contact and I'll pay up here. Let me get a couple up here and get the off. This is going poorly. But I got an old lady walking around. Off. Good. I want to mark and reinforce that off really well. Stand. Off. Yes. Good girl. And I'll give her 3 or 4 cookies for the off. I'm just going to establish the off. Stand. Off. Yes. Good. Right? Just going to establish the off. She knows that word. Chill. Stand. Oh. Come. Good. Off. Yes. Good girl. All right. Great job. Go do dog stuff. All right. So we got the off established. We got the duration established. I was expecting her to do a little better at the beginning there. I went a little fast probably. She's kind of super smart and super talented, so I'm going to do that. I backed off to the duration concept. I'm now going to take the eye contact, yes, and pull away, yes, and take the eye contact. And hopefully get to the off. Yes, good girl. So I'll take the eye contact, yes, present the cookie, remove, yes, and pay. Yes, and pay. Off. Good girl. That's great. Whoa. That was very good. So I'll take the eye contact, yes, stand, good, yes. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Come on. Yes. Good. Off. Good. I was pretty greedy. I waited for the eye contact in the stand, but I think it was kind of an important criteria here. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more here. I'm kind of bummed though. Cupcake. Ready? Stand. Yes. Off. Good. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more. Stand. Yes. Off. Good girl. Stand. Yes. Off. Good. Yes. Yes. Oh, come on. Yes. Ruined it. I ruined it. Go do dog stuff. Greedy bitch. You greedy bitch. Totally ruined it. All right. So a little bit of eye contact in the stand. I don't know what she wanted to do with the stool here. There's a stool right here that she was gravitating towards. It was kind of a weird little session. But I'm going to go ahead and go through with the rest of it. I was going to do the get back with the removal of the cookie, right? That removal of the cookie to elicit the eye contact. I'm going to do the same thing here. Get back and remove the cookie. And we should see some good dividends on that backing up. King, that'll do. That backing up session I did. Yes, you can see her actually doing the get back behavior. Oops. And there that removal didn't work. I'll take it away. right? I'll get over here on her strong side. I'll remove it. She'll back up. Yes, good girl. I'll do 3 on the strong side. Boom. She'll back up. I'll do 1 more over here. I'll really make sure she backs up. Boom. I'll take it away. Help push her. Come on, hot stuff. Boom, and I'll pull it out, right? And then I'll work this side. Boom, and I'll remove. Yes. Boom, remove. Yeah, good. And so I can start to use that removal cue, oops, boom, as the cue to back up. Or as the cue to SIT, or as the cue, yes, off for eye contact. Awesome, go to dog stuff. There we go. That's what I got. I could isolate this to the standing on the stool. It would definitely solve my problem of her moving around. No, the whole point here actually is to get the eye contact in the stand, right? I could totally, she should have this on the pedestal in spades, on the ball in spades, on the everything in spades, but I haven't done that kind of work with her, right? I've done this kind of conceptual work where I've like dropped the concept on her and then played around with the concept. And then later on I'll do some shit to show her what that is, what to kind of tell her what she's doing, if that makes, to backfill the knowledge gap from the quick back chain, if that makes sense. But she gave me the eye contact here, right? Yes, there. Yes, off. Good work. Great job. Ready? Through. Boom. Yes, good girl. Ready? Get back. Boom. Good girl. Ready? Stand. Come on. Yes. Off. Good work. Go to dog stuff. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, so that eye contact on that stand, when that sets up, that stand is super strong. Like the removal of the cookie elicits the stand, and that's really nice. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get the dog. A different path, Ben. That's all. Different path, different set of problems. Right? Oh, look at you. Wow, that's super awesome, Cupcake. Look at you. You're fucking up here shopping, aren't you? Shopping for garbage. I have a little table underneath here, and there's, hang on, is that? Oh, there's a little, a couple of, she just stole the, there's a couple of torn up water bottles, and she's up there trying to get it. It's kind of funny. She's like a little raccoon. But Ben, there's just a different place where you're going to get in trouble with that, right? Like it's just a different place to take the hit or a different place to make the move, if that makes sense. You know, and if that's the way that you would like to make the move, I could totally see using that if I were if I didn't think that this was going to pan out, or if I were struggling with this, like, and I don't consider that struggling whatsoever, right? It's only struggling because it's on a fucking stream, right? And she's a superstar and learns everything at the drop of a hat, and you know, makes me look good. So like, it doesn't necessarily circumvent what I'm working on, but it's like a connection point or a passageway, a crossroads, or it's a crossroads I don't want to set up. You know what I mean? I don't want the potential logical split of like, what happens if this happens? I know what's going to happen here. She's gonna only get paid when she's standing and giving eye contact, and she's gonna realize that this removal cue in this context means to give eye contact. In the other, I think she might be thinking I should be backing up with that. I don't know. And what should she think, right? She doesn't know what's happening. But I'm pretty sure that once I get that attention in stand, that I have a bulletproof stand. I have a really solid stand. Very, very firm stand foundation. If I do it the other way, I don't know. I don't know if it's a stand foundation or not, if that makes sense. Tomato, tomato. Different way of getting there. The business route. You're taking the business route, I'm taking the highway. Funny. Cool. Removal of the cookie for the backing up thing, I think, is pretty standard in dog training. It fades very nicely as well, right? Boom, you turn it out, you pull it away in big fashion, and then you put it there and pull it away, and then you kind of act like you're going to put it there and pull it away. Next thing you know, you're doing, ooh, scoot. And the dog is slamming backwards. Oh, Cupcake! Are you kidding? Dude. Not cool. Wow. Go out in the snow. God damn it. Grrr. He's fairly unlike her, guys. I don't think... I've certainly never seen it. I've never seen her pee. And the only girl pee I have is Pan, little tiny old lady. Bad Cupcake. You get to see part of my profession, guys. All right. So, before we close up shop, what should we talk about? Huh? What should we talk about? Can't believe that, Cupcake. That's gross. All right, well, that's what I got. Ben, super congrats on the third place at the AKC Updog event. We did not make it. Cupcake is 8 months old now. She's 8 months old. She might be marking. Most of our females mark. All of our bitches mark. They're fucking crazy, dude. The whole place is crazy here. It's awesome though. I love Alicia and Kim when you guys, everyone was like, you know, how does it not smell like dog here? And we're like, yeah. I don't know, but we're happy about it. Ben, congrats on third place. And, you know, you're welcome that my car broke down because those, La is a total threat for all those games. Super good scores though, dude. Super good scores. I looked at all of them though and was like, wow, they're all gettable. Like the greedy scores were low. Was it tough throwing or something? Was it windy? I mean, there was a hurricane not too far away, right? Whoo, burr. It's fucking frozen in here. Hang on, let me see if I can turn on the phone here. I'll show you outside. Oh yeah, we're fired up. Look at this. Boom. How about that? Like it's, hang on. Whoa, Cupcake. It's coming, Alicia. Epi, what are you doing? You got snow all over you, Epi. Dude, you got snow all over you. Pan, you're covered in snow. All right. Whew. All right, there we go. It's coming, Alicia, it's coming. Kim, 12 hours to you, 24 to Alicia. Enjoy it. All right, so those of you guys who are patrons, who are on the patrons group on pvibe.com, definitely grab that ebook that I posted. There's an EPUB version, and there's a PDF version. The EPUB version plays on iBooks. Should work on some Android thing. It's just EPUB. And then the PDF is a little more boring, but a little more standard. I'm pretty stoked about it. I'll probably go inside, take my computer in, and get cracking on the Handler Flight IQ. I will be doing the Flight IQ most likely as a standalone book. So team, handler, and dog. It'll be this. Yeah. Doot, doot, doot. I'll show you here in a sec. Boom. So it'll be this. So that's the dog. We went through this. Those are the forms that are attached to it. And then the team Flight IQ and the handler Flight IQ. And that'll be book 1 of DiscDog IQ. Should have it done fairly soon, I would imagine. It's actually been laid out for some time. It's just finally organized, I think, properly. So anyway, I am going to get out of here if there are no questions or ideas. Yep, it will be precipitating there in the very near future. That's what I think. That's what I think. Exciting. Exciting, Judy. Yeah. Super cool. Enjoy them while you can. They'll be rotten like cupcake in no time, right? Rotten little cupcake. You are totally rotten. Do you want to do Ben's thing? You were gonna do it, aren't you? You're gonna do it. I see you. Yeah. I see you. She wants to take the stool as a pedestal. She really does. Keep waiting for her to do it. Yeah, I don't think it snows. Well, it does snow here in November, but I don't know. All right, so I'm going to play us out with some meme roll. I didn't do anything cool. Went through this. If you dig the show, thank a patron. You got it, Judy. Hang on. Patrons drive this show. If you dig it, thank a patron, become a patron, and yeah, build your show. So, whoa, easy, Cheetah. Wrong one. I wanted clean, not girlish shoes. So, when do you stop rollers and start to throw? So, I do bridging the take as a skill. You can find it on the website. Essentially, you pull the dog around and then I throw it to myself and make the catch, and then the dog bites it. And I play that until the dog can catch. At which point in time I then introduce in the air throws, right? And at that point in time, Frisbee kind of comes to a halt for a while, for the most part. For like those weeks when the dog barely gets the visual acuity to hit the catches, when we get that, I usually just kind of go easy on Frisbee, right? And allow the dog to kind of set on or sit on that that experience of making those catches. Maybe I do some bridge the take sessions. So Cupcake did bridging the take in here at, I don't know, 3-4 months old. Rocked it, made a couple of catches, right? And the wind, I walked out maybe a week later, and the wind conditions were amazing. They were just right, and I made a couple of floaty throws into the wind that I knew would stand up that she could, and she caught one. Woo! Right? That was like a week after she had done the bridging of the take and could put the visual acuity together for the catch. And then it was probably another month, and she went out on the big field. And we just did some shit in here, some bite work and, you know, fluffy toys and a lot of cookie work. But like, I don't do a bunch of reps of really anything with Frisbee until forms. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And when I went out and played with her, the first time I took her on the big field, I shut the gate, you know, the gate where we come out, and I waited for her to look at me. She looked right up at me, and I popped into that working flank position, boom, and I pulled her and I threw a roller, and then I pulled her, and she was moving with me on the flank. I'd stop her, she'd be like, wah, right? And I'd throw a roller, and we did 30, 60 seconds, and we were done. And then I posted the cupcake videos shortly thereafter, right? It doesn't require a lot of work, and I would avoid doing a bunch of repetitive stuff. There's no good pattern the dog is going to learn right now. Maybe that's not true, but there's no maybe that's not true either. In Frisbee, there's no like good heavy repetition roller pattern or heavy repetition fetch pattern, right? Better to just get the idea cooking and then let it stew until you're able to execute, I think. Hopefully that makes sense. What a goddamn mouthful. Yeah, I would have really liked to have been there. You know, and those scores were totally gettable, but getting 3 of them at once, it's good, man. It's good. Pretty cool. I'm excited for you. Dr. Worm, the slow guy, right? You had to break out your slow dog to be competitive there, right? Have to break out your fast dog for the real contest, right, Ben? Super funny. All right, so Judy, hopefully that's helpful. Excited for you and Fox. You know, do the Disc Kwando forms. The yellow belt forms are available on the website. Do those Disc Kwando forms, especially the ones by yourself. Get yourself prepared, and you know, if you wind up doing some of those forms with a young dog, they're pretty nice. They actually are kind of patterns and repeated things that would be helpful. So they are a little elevated and not easy to do, but a lot of times puppies are like, oh, I'll do anything you want, sure. And you can do some cool stuff with them. But anyway, I will see you guys sometime soon. What is it? Maybe Tactics Tuesday. We might do Tuesday. I got a bunch of shit rolling around in my head, so I gotta jump on that stuff, and I'll probably want to share some things. So I am gonna play us out with Badass Meme Roll number 4. Here we go. Oh no, the movie should not be muted. Get it, Epi. All right. We will see you guys sometime soon. What are you doing? Dude, that's not a chew toy. Epi, you can't reach it. Hustle. Mine. Dirty dog stuff. Stop doing it. Bad dog, Epi. King is a good boy. Bad dog, Epi. That's funny.